Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Comic Book Club. I'm Alex.
I am Pete.
And Justin is still on sabbatical in Alaska.
Somewhere near Anchorage.
Somewhere. He's approaching Anchorage as we tape this. Yeah. So we have three great comic book reviews for you guys today. We're going to talk about Dark Reign ELEKTRA #1, Commissioner Gordon #1, and New Avengers #51. Ooh. So let's kick it off with Dark Reign ELEKTRA #1. This is the first ELEKTRA series in a good long while.
Yeah.
Obviously, the character was a Skrull for a very long time. The first casualty of the Skrull War. This is dealing with the fallout of her coming back. What did you think about this issue?
I really loved it. I liked how it kind of set up, and I feel like there was enough time passed where I feel like showing us what happened during the Skrull invasion wasn't like a waste of pages. It really just kind of you filled in on Elektra's deal, and then her being held prisoner. I thought it was badass, and I loved it.
This is balls to the wall, dude. It totally is. And Zeb Wells does a great job with this. And this is probably one of the best ELEKTRA stories in a good long while.
Yeah, I can't wait for the next issue. This was exciting.
Yeah, I don't know how it's going to last 5 issues necessarily. I'm curious to see where it's going to go, but
I'm excited.
Man, this was fun.
Yeah, if it keeps on this pace, I'm really into it.
Absolutely. Art's also really good.
Yes,
really across the entire world, I was in love with this book. I love it. I want Gizu, man. I don't know what I'm even saying at this point. I guess essentially just pick this up, right?
Yes, please do.
Sweet. All right, let's move on and talk about another solo issue. Commissioner Gordon, part of Battle for the Cows. So, one shot, Commissioner Gordon, finally. What'd you think?
This was Commissioner Gordon as a badass. Take it out, Mr. Freeze. You can't mess with Gordon. He doesn't care who you are. He will kick you. I kind of liked it. I mean, it was a little. I was like, I don't know if Gordon could really take down Mr. Freeze, but
yeah, he can't. I mean, I'm gonna come out and say that he can't. This did not work for me.
Oh, come on!
No,
let Gordon have his one shot.
Come on. That's not what he's about. I mean, what did we learn? What did we learn about Commissioner Gordon in here? We learned
that he misses the bat signal. We learned that. He likes to just sit there with it on.
And when he has hypothermia, he can beat up Mr. Freeze.
Yeah, he's like, oh, I'm gonna die. No, wait.
That's fine. I mean, I'm all for the fact of, like, maybe, living in Gotham, you have to, really lift weights around and really work out and practice your fight training. But it was just kind of unbelievable to me. There's nothing wrong with Commissioner Gordon constantly ending up being a hostage. That's just who he is.
Well, I mean, come on. He's got to win one. I don't know. It's a one shot. I was like, why not? Let's have Gordon be a badass.
I guess. I would just rather see him doing anything that Commissioner Gordon does rather than being Batman. I don't know. That's my
It was funny because he had that inner monologue. If I could just do this, then...
This whole event isn't working for me, I would say, pretty much across the board.
Yeah, the Battle for the Cowl so far has been a big kind of letdown. And, if you're almost frozen and then you grab a lead pipe, your hands are going to freeze to the pipe.
Obviously, this is kind of an essential issue just because it was recently spoiled on the internet that Commissioner Gordon is going to become the new Batman. Right?
Yeah. It's obvious. I mean, the way he can take down Mr. Freeze.
I think a couple of people just had heart attacks that I was going to say who it actually was because it was spoiled on the internet who it is. I'm not going to say it out loud, though, so don't worry.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah, it's cool. It's renamed one time. All right, let's move on and talk about New Avengers #51. Speaking of new people taking on mantles, Doctor Strange, no longer Sorcerer Supreme, searching out for the new one. What do you think about this?
Well, what I liked about this issue is I felt like there was stuff happening. You know what I mean? You got to, they still spend a lot of time talking about people talking on TV, which hopefully we'll get past. But I feel like, the diner scenes, and they're dealing with stuff in the universe. Mm-hmm. Like, all right, Sorcerer Supreme, who's it going to be? I thought it was kind of cool the way they kind of talked about there's a list, who's on the list. And of course it was like, oh, Dr. Doom's on the list. Oh, here comes Doctor Doom.
Right.
You know, or a scarier version of Doctor Doom, whatever. But and I like the first meeting. I thought that was kind of funny. Sitting around being like, all right, who's going to be the leader? Not it. You know, that whole thing. I don't know. I liked it. I think
it's surprising to me, actually, because you generally get very frustrated when there's action teams and they're doing a lot of inaction.
Right. Yeah. But I feel like Bendis is setting things up in a way that's not upsetting to me. Like, for some reason, I'm okay with it. Just because, I don't know, maybe I love the art. I thought like they're moving forward in a way that I feel okay with.
Yeah, it is really good art throughout, and Bendis does do a good job on the writing. I do like the idea of Doctor Strange searching for a new Sorcerer Supreme.
Yeah.
This is my bet. The new Sorcerer Supreme is Doctor Strange. I'm just putting that out there. I think there's just going to be a circular thing where he's going to find he just needed to find himself again or something like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's my guess. But let's talk about the other big thing in the issue. The other big thing in the issue, and this is a little bit of a spoiler, but as they are sitting around and talking, they say, well, there's one order of business. There's one thing that we need to deal with first.
Awkward. It's awkward.
Yeah, it's awkward, and Spider-Man's like, what? What's awkward?
I love awkward. Let's do it.
And they're like, well, it's kind of awkward about you. And then they say, you need to take off your mask. We're all unmasked here. We all know who each other are, except for you. And then Spider-Man unmasks.
Which
again,
which
a couple of months after there's that thing. What was that storyline that you were really upset about?
man, it was great. Yeah, where he talks about, hey, I don't want to put my family in jeopardy, and they're like, what family? What? I don't even know what you're talking about. And then, speaking of awkward, there's that whole thing of after he unmasks, Cage's wife is all up on his nutsack, like, oh, Peter Parker, I love you. He's like, yo, what's going on? She's like, shut up, husband.
We've been doing like a little too much play acting, I think, in this show. You just made me Jessica Jones.
Yeah.
So, which is cool. I mean,
you do like to dress like women. That's why you don't have sideburns anymore.
All right, enough. But I think the relevant issue is Peter Parker. Again, I understand it's like, all right, let's just keep it in this room. But this is the whole problem. Like, you know, Joe Quesada talking about genies in bottles. The genie is like, at this point, like, in a bottle, be like, wait, can I come out? Can I come out again?
Again, that's the thing. Like,
so
why are we bringing this up in a meeting? Really? Like, this is really what we want to talk about?
What I felt like,
we're putting a team together, and really, we're going to be like, hey, who's the guy in the mask?
It's more, I felt like there was a tacit agreement between Marvel Comics and us as the readers that, of course, they should have that conversation. Absolutely. No, in a realistic world, they absolutely would be like, dude, take off your mask. Come on.
Why?
I know you are. Absolutely.
They're superheroes. Who gives a shit?
It doesn't matter because it's a level of trust and whatnot. But in the level of, like, understanding that we're reading fiction, okay, we understand as readers that they're just not saying that because of whatever magic spell that Mephisto made or anything like that.
Well, stop saying that. I don't want to hear that name. Anyways, I just feel that it was already an issue. It was like a big deal. Why are we bringing up old shit? You know, it's like, I don't understand what's the big, like, if this time he's not going to take off his mask, great. Let's do that. Let's say he's learned something and he's not going to do that. But then having him do
it's spiraling out of control. It's like, well, okay, these 5 people know, and then 5 more people will know.
Yeah.
And then he's in front of a press conference doing it again, and then we have to have Mephisto come back.
Stop with no. I don't ever want to see Mephisto ever again. Well, who's with me?
Less people all the time. If you have a question for us, write us at thecomicbookclub@yahoo.com. Comment below, upload your video response.
Would you say pick this up? Were you happy with it?
Sure, no, I did actually like it, other than that scene, which I felt was totally ridiculous. You can check out our blog, popcultureshock.com/cbclub. You can check out our podcast on iTunes, Comic Book Club Live, and
the live show on Tuesday nights, 8 o'clock, People's Improv Theater.